Alrighty, I don't want to wait anymore. Normally we wait about 5 minutes, but I want to get this show on the road. Can you guys hear me? I can never tell. Because everything on my end, okay, sweet. Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Dada. Because I know if I'm going to ask, can you hear me? Eskin's going to be like, no. And then he'll just always say no. I am way too impatient. I'm very impatient. In fact, I'm so impatient. That's why I'm really struggling with my TVT right now. There are a few things going on that I'm struggling with. You know, has anyone ever gotten into an argument with an inanimate object? You know, like an example would be something very, very simple, like walking through your living room while holding a cup of coffee and then stubbing your toe on a coffee table and getting really mad at it and arguing with the coffee table about like why it was there and how it came out of nowhere. I mean, me either. That's never happened to me. I wouldn't do that. But I've heard that people do, and it seems very odd. Okay, so today we've got some StarCraft as is tradition. It's been a minute since I've done a cast, and so last time I did a cast, we did just requests. Just straight up CPL requests from the community, and it was amazing. It was so much fun, but we still have weekly games going on, and so I want to make sure that we keep up with those. And so I'm trying to tie in like some general requests, people that have been asking to have their matches casted, and just mix them into the normal rhythm. So today what we've got going on, I'm going to try to get through 4 of these. There was 6 total in the tier 3 build disorders versus 0 effort Zealot Rush. And so I think I can get through 4 with the time that I have available. We're going to start off with Dada versus FuzzyBranch, which is going to be ZVZ. So, you know, that's probably going to take a really long time. And then we've got Kriggy versus AZK, ZVT. Now, AZK historically a Zerg player playing Terran this season. And then we've got Otto versus Ghostup, which is going to be a PvP, and then rulebot versus Rice and Beans. I say Rice and Beans, RiceBeans. You know, it's like the beans that you grow rice with. Anyway, that's going to be a PvP as well. And other than that, small admin note, we have kicked off the second $50 tournament in StarCraft Underground. I know this is a CPL cast, but part of doing these casts and part of putting myself out there on Twitch is to raise funds for these tournaments. 100% of the funds go towards the tournaments. We are at $13.10 towards StarCraft Underground's number 3 tournament. So if you have a free Prime subscription or anything along those lines, and you're not using it, we would absolutely love your support. Okay, that's my pitch for the day, and let's go ahead and get into it. Opossum, thanks for the follow. I don't know why. I think okay, there's the alert. I wanted to make sure it showed up. I've been screwing with the stream, and so didn't want to mess up too much. Like, for example, I've got Tangia on this. I take it away from the live because I don't want to mess up the replays for people watching their own games, but it exists here. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's do our anthem. So everyone stand up, cover your heart, show support for the CPL community that we all love and hold dear on this amazing Thursday. And let's get into it. Gotta warm up them fingers.
Winners rise and losers fall, reflexes sharp, minds enthrall. Gamers play, this never ends. CPL, where legends play. CPL, we fight tonight. Let us sing the storyline. From the shadows to the dream, we are the Coach-Pupil League.
That just woke me up. I just went from like a 3 on the energy to like a 3.5 on energy. Let's go ahead and kill that. Let's get us over to... We're going to be starting off with Dada versus Fuzzy. And the first map is going to be on Knockout. So 4-player map, ZVZ. It's going to be an absolute banger. We are at the beach. I was trying to think of like, what's a good background? It used to be black. And I was like, let's go with the beach theme. Let's go with being a shark. Hopefully it pops up here any minute now. CPL! That's right, Opossum. Let me get the score sheet figured out, which is always a pain in the butt. And then I also need to give you guys sound, all the good stuff. I think I said it was knockout. So we'll do knockout, save that. And then you guys need audio. Should be hearing it now. Yes, Dada, I know. I know. But you know what? I only know because you always say it. Okay, I'm sorry. My computer's tripping out. Oh, that's what's going on. And that's why I've been kind of like stopping and going here quite a bit because I couldn't figure out what was happening. Okay, anyway, here we are in the game. Shift tab. It does work. We've got Big Daddy versus Fuzzy, also known as Sussy Baka. But anyway, up here in the top left, we've got no, I'm sorry, I'm backwards. We got Fuzzy up here in the top left, blue representing the zero effort Zell Rush, and then down here representing the build disorders, we've got Big Daddy, also known as Sussy Baka. We got ZVZ. So one of the things to note right off the rip is it looks like Big Daddy went pretty early on the pool. Looks like maybe just a 9 pool there. Well, I guess, I don't know. I kind of missed it as I was dealing with all the technical stuff, but he's just now getting his Overlord. Oh, Dada, it's Sussy Baker. Is that like, what's that play, that show where the barber, he like slits people's throats and then bakes them into pie? Sweeney Todd. That's a Sussy Baker. Big Daddy is Sweeney Todd. Alright, so we're getting a lot of gas here for Dada, which leads me to believe that he might be racing towards Mutalisks. We also have gas going down here as well. Now, they could just be using this for speed for their Zerglings, so we're going to have to see. We do have 6 Zerglings about to pop out for Daddy. So weird saying Daddy. Yeah, he's going to be going up to 8 Zerglings, sending them straight across the map. And we are getting a second hatchery for Fuzzy. So Fuzzy going for a little bit more of the full macro game. And Fuzzy, if you're watching, I say this with all the love in the world because I'm always so impressed. But Fuzzy is one of the lowest APM players that I've seen play the game at the level that he does. Fuzzy's super good, but I don't know how he does it with like 50 APM. Especially playing Zerg. But anyway, Daddy's Zerglings getting up here into the main for Fuzzy. Now Fuzzy has 4 Zerglings back at home. Getting a creep colony. This might do a lot of damage here. Now we're bringing in the drones. We're getting the spits off. But the Zergling's already tearing through them. The drone count has equalized. So, you know, Daddy's not behind as of yet. I'm sorry, Fuzzy. I don't know why I keep thinking that Daddy's blue. Alright, now the Zerglings are going to work. We are down to 5 drones remaining for Fuzzy, but he does get the sunken colony down. Is starting to lay out the damage. Is it going to go down itself from these Zerglings? And it looks like he just might not make it. Oh, it just survives with 10 health remaining. Oh, it's beautiful. Fuzzy, that's not bad. Look at that hold. But can you hold this second wave? Not quite. The 10 health sunken goes down real fast, and that's the GG! 3 minutes, 47 seconds. That, my friends, is ZVZ. Okay, let's update the scores. So we're going to go ahead and give Dada a 1-0 victory there on map 1. And we're going to go into map number 2 here. Oh man, it's been so long since I've done this. I'm like trying to remember how to navigate all of this. Very quick ZVZ. What we've come to love and expect from Zerg on Zerg action. I will say, I think Artosis Casts posted a ZVZ either yesterday or like the day before, and it was a banger. If you're a Zerg player, I highly recommend watching it. It was so much fun. It was straight up like Hive ZVZ, like it went for a long time. It was insane. Anyway, we're going to be going into game number 2. This is going to be on Polestar. I'm just changing the map real quick, guys, on the scorecard. Polestar. Daddy went up to 1-0. Okay, scorecard should be good. All right, so now down here, we're still blue versus red. We've got Fuzzy as the blue Zerg in the bottom right. And we've got Big Daddy, Dada, Sussy Baker up here in the top right. I'm still trying to figure out this whole Sussy Baker thing. It could either be kind of ominous, like the whole Sweeney Todd aspect we were talking about, or you could be that guy that like accidentally brings the wrong sheet of brownies to work, and then everyone, you know, that job site loses all its productivity and everyone's concerned about drug testing. So a couple of different ways to interpret this Sussy Baker aspect going on here. So what I want to keep an eye on here is some deviations between the two. I feel like early deviations in ZVZ is so impactful. And right now we are seeing an Overlord popping out for Fuzzy, where meanwhile it looks like a 9 pool again from Dada. You know, don't fix it if it's not broke. Whoops. What is this? Beka is just idiot in Japanese. So he's a sussy idiot. Dada's a weeb? I had no idea. Alright, Fuzzy droning up. Dada droning up as well. Also getting that extractor again. Now, I didn't even notice. Last game went so quickly. I don't even know if the gas came into play on getting speed or anything along those lines. I brought the terrain back. I was trying to alt-tab, and I just hit tab and made the whole mini-map black. Because I've got those super observer skills. Yeah, we're not here for high-quality content. We're here for just content. Alright, we've got 6 Zerglings out and about. Luckily, the first scout here from Fuzzy is going to identify that he's got aggression coming in hot and fast. He has 4 Zerglings of his own on the way, and he's going straight into the creep colony again. So this is looking a little bit like a repeat of last game, but check this out. There's been no scouting information yet for Dada, and so he's sending the Zerglings up to the top left. This is going to buy a lot of very precious time here for Fuzzy. And it's interesting because he's still doing this when Daddy's Overlord is actually in the bottom right. So he has the scouting information. He knows where Fuzzy is, technically. But seeing is not seeing in StarCraft. You got to actually look at what your dudes are looking at. And I feel like everyone's been there. Everyone's done this. I did it last night. I was on ladder, and I was playing against some Protoss dude, and we were on Dominator. And I've been playing so much Neo Sylphid that the bases are in different spots. And so when I was blindly scouting, like with my scouting SCV, they just went like outside the mains. They didn't actually go inside where the mains were. So I realized about, 8 minutes in that I actually had no idea where my opponent was. Oh man, the Zerglings are coming in, getting a ton of damage. He's targeting down this Sunken. I don't think this one's going to live with 10 health like last time. And oh my gosh, there's no army left for Fuzzy. There's nothing left. Daddy's got 4 Zerglings in Fuzzy's mineral line. He's getting a couple Zerglings himself here to try to defend this. He's got 6 Zerglings being morphed. A couple getting in there with the drones, but now we're down to 5 drones for Fuzzy. Now he has the larva advantage here, but he just doesn't have the mining. And he's down to 2 drones, and both of them are mining gas. We've got 2 Zerglings. I think if another wave from Daddy comes in, it's going to be game over. We've got 6 being made. We have a Spire already on the way. Oh my gosh. This is looking pretty challenging. I think Fuzzy right now, he needs to do a combination of droning and getting some anti-air in the form of probably spores. But he's going to try to go across the map, maybe get some damage done. Fuzzy knows he has to come back. Yeah, Fuzzy's just like, yeah, GG, man. 2 drones isn't going to cut it. And that's going to be it for game number 2 here. Opening up with pretty exciting action here in Zerg versus Zerg. That's going to give Dada a 2-0 victory over Fuzzy as we open up today's series. Now, the next game, we're going to be going in and we're going to be looking at Kriggy, who has requested to be streamed, so hopefully he's around. Kriggy versus AZK. Both these players very active as well. AZK been doing a lot of practicing with his Terran, and then Kriggy's awesome. He always hits me up on BattleNet, and he's just like, let's play, let's play, let's play. And I'm like, dude, I can't. Okay. So I'm going to have to change this scorecard. We're going to be on knockout for this first map. I got to alt-tab again. AZK. Kriggy. Fix that. Fix this. Make that Terran. Alrighty. Now I'll show you guys the game. You guys haven't missed anything yet. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. I think everything's Gucci now. Alright, so we are here on Knockout. Up here in the top left, we've got AZK as our red Terran, representing the zero effort Zealot rush. And then up here in the top right, we've got some blue Zerg action in the form of Kriggy, representing the build disorders. Now, I'm curious to see if we're going to have a trend of 3 or 4 minute games here. But it looks like Kriggy going into an Overlord first, not going to be doing a 9 pool at the moment. So, looks like we'll have maybe a little bit of a game that lasts a while. TVZ has a tendency to go a little bit longer. All my TVZs basically go until Mutalisks come out. And then once Mutalisks come out, they just kill me. Alright, so more droning here for Kriggy. Looks like he is sending out a drone, likely to expand. Get that up nice and early. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, so we got 12 hatch. Over here, it does look like AZK building his barracks down here towards the ramp. Opting not to wall off in this build. Spawning pool going down. It looks like we're going to be getting our extractor up as well. Okay. So I would expect like a 2-hatch Mutalisk opening here for Kriggy. I mean, obviously, it's still a little too early to tell, but that's kind of the baseline assumption. Especially in CPL Tier 3, you see a lot of that. Okay, so drone does come up in here. Gets a scout off on the Terran. One of the big things that Kriggy was able to just check was, okay, is there a refinery up? Is this going to be a mech or a bio opening? It does look like it's going to be a bio opening. And we do have the Marine here kind of shooing away that drone. Now, I don't think the drone didn't see the expansion going down. But it's also a fair assumption as well. Okay, so here comes AZK getting an SCV up into the base of Kriggy. He's going to be seeing the expansion. He's going to be seeing the layer morphing as well. He's going to see the drones that are on gas. So I think that AZK is going to have to go and prepare for Mutalisks. And he is going second barracks, and we'll probably be seeing that academy relatively shortly once he gets his refinery up, starts getting some gas so that he can get those upgrades as soon as it's complete. Okay, cool. We're just chilling. Very standard opening from both players. 2 Zerglings chasing around the SCV here in the main. 2 more joining the fray. We do have this drone out here. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Kriggy takes kind of just a hidden third. Sometimes you'll see maybe the mineral base, but oftentimes Zerg players will try to find something kind of like out of the way. And this is a base where, you know, AZK is likely not to go out and scouting, especially when he's just trying to stay in his base and fend off waves and waves of Mutalisks and try to put pressure on the natural. But it does look like Ziggy's going to be bringing that drone back, so I guess we're not going to be seeing a third base go down out there. At least not as of yet. Alright, so the Marine count is continuing to increase. We're looking here, we're getting that academy up here shortly, and Zergling's speed is about to finish. Now there's enough Marines here to fend this off, no problem. I don't think, yeah, the Zerglings are going to have to bounce right off that. You might aggro a few of these Marines out, though. Could give Kriggy an opportunity to start wearing away on this bio count. But AZK brings him back home. No problem. Going to be getting a sunken colony, just preemptive. This is going to allow him to continue droning and start working towards getting that spire up as soon as possible. He does have the mineral count to do so. We'll see where he ends up putting it. Okay, so we have the initial just kind of like 7 Marines, 2 medics. Sometimes you'll see a fire bat stay home. Okay, we do have a fire bat. Looks like he's going to be bringing that along, maybe? Not entirely sure. Now, Kriggy missed this move out. He has nothing seeing this. He's going to see it now with these Zerglings. One of them goes down as it's going across the map. He's going to be bringing the rest home. There's only 1 sunken here, and these Marines are stimming straight across. They're going to wait for the medic support. He's going to bundle up. He's going to bunch them up, and off he goes. Okay, getting in there, getting up on this high ground, being able to attack this sunken from outside this kind of divot, and he takes down the sunken colony. Now here comes the Zerglings, but these are just creep colonies right now. He's going to have to buy some more time until these sunkens finish morphing. Now more Zerglings are coming out. This looks like Kriggy's going to be perfectly safe. There's only 4 Marines here. There's no additional reinforcements coming from AZK at the moment. And the Zerglings are going to get on top of this, and they are going to do so much damage. Now, the Sunken has finished here at the natural. I love this. I love it when medics sit there and they just bandage each other. I try to think of this like what if you were there? You know, what if you were those medics? What would that look like? And I just, you know, just slapping band-aids on each other while they're being beat up. Okay, we've got a fire bat, 3 more Marines. This is not going to be enough to handle all these Zerglings. The Zerglings are going to turn around. He's going to target down the fire bat after losing just a couple, and the Marines are going to have to head home. Now, there's a little bit of bio still left. We're going up to 4 barracks, getting +1 and also range. We've already seen Stim in action. We know that that's complete. And what I want to see is oh, there is no Spire. I was wondering, I was like, where's the tech for our Zerg player? We have a Hydralisk Den and a 3rd hatchery down here in the main. So I think that this is gonna throw AZK off, I think when he went into the base, I think the expectation was that he was going to be fighting up against Mutalisks, but maybe not, because he hasn't been building any turrets. So maybe he did either get a scan off or identified that this was the tech that was going to be used against him. So yeah, saving the scanners, getting a factory, and if he did scan up here and knew that lurkers were what he was going to be facing up against, it's not uncommon to put a couple of bunkers out here and maybe a turret as well. But it looks like AZK's game plan is keep the pressure on the Zerg player. Now we do have Hydralisks hitting the field. Lurker aspect almost completed, and it looks like AZK is getting ready for another big move out. Now this move out does have a substantial amount of guns with it, but not a whole lot of band-aids. We refer to that as a sausage party when there's a lack of medics. Alright, looks like the Zerglings and the Marines are going to be fighting here in the middle of the map. Zerglings kind of heading south. I think that's an attempt to try to pull the bio away from the natural. As you'll notice, Kriggy has put up a 3rd down here in the bottom right. Now we have 2 Sunkens, we have Lurkers morphing as well. And here comes a big stim. Okay, only 1 medic. Generally the rule of thumb is have as many medics as there are Sunkens. And unfortunately that pathing there getting really screwed up around the eggs. This is not going to be a good engagement for AZK. Just barely doesn't kill that Sunken. It's down at 2 health when it finally, when the dust settled. Now here come all the medics. Yeah, today's the day of almost killing Sunkens. Oh, just get in there and shoot it a couple times. Alright, we got the medics slapping band-aids on each other. Oh my gosh, I completely missed this. 4 lurkers in the base of AZK, 1 on top of the production, 2 down here at the natural, completely shutting it down. And this looks rough. The scans are going down. AZK is able to see them, but there's nothing there that's able to shoot them. Oh my gosh, the two more lurkers going to be getting onto the mineral line here in the main. And yeah, AZK sees the writing on the wall, says GG, and that's going to be game 1 here in this series. Alright, so that's going to go ahead and give Kriggy a 1-0 lead over our Terran hero. And that's going to bring us into game number 2. Now, game number 2, let's go ahead and get it up. Get it up, get it up. Yeah, I kind of missed the lurkers walking in. But that's what we were talking about earlier, right? Like, if the lurker tech was what we had seen, getting a couple bunkers in that turret, like that turret especially, is just so helpful. Okay, so Kriggy, 1 win, and we are on Polestar. All right, all over it. Scorecard should be looking correct-ish, which is the best kind of correct. Up there with like technically correct, you have correct-ish as like the next tier of quality of correctness. So AZK, our red Terran representing the zero effort Zell Rush, is down here in the bottom left on Polestar. And we have Kriggy, our blue Zerg, up here in the top left. Lurkers, man. Lurkers are good. DVZ is a tough matchup. I was thinking about it last night because I was saying I was laddering and doing some practice and stuff, and I was just thinking to myself, I was like, okay, TVZ is really hard, but at least it's not TVP. And the only thing worse than TVP and TVZ is trying to figure out TVT. And then I realized, I was just like, oh my gosh, Terran doesn't feel well matched up against anything right now. Alright, so this time it looks like AZK is going for more of a wall. He's established his first supply depot down here at the natural. He's going to be throwing his barracks down here as well. Meanwhile, Kriggy looks like he's going to be going hatchery first. He's banking up some minerals. Does look that way. And we saw this last game as well, so we'll be seeing a 12 hatch here from our Zerg hero. And we'll see if he throws down an extractor and spawning pool here as well. Okay, so the scouts are out. We have SCV heading off here to the bottom right, not going to be seeing anything. We have a drone also heading up to the top right. And this Overlord didn't go the whole way, which is a little interesting. He just kind of parked it here. And I think that this is an attempt to catch an SCV as it's scouting toward his base. But that's interesting because it leaves this situation. This is like the worst case situation with a scouting technique like this, because he assumes, okay, I don't see an SCV here. Didn't see the main here. Terran must be here, which we know is not the case. So interesting technique there from our Zerg player. Kind of curious why he didn't keep the Overlord moving south. Now we have a second SCV here from AZK heading up to the top left. This one will get the scout off, will identify the expansion. And meanwhile in the Zerg base, we have a spawning pool and the extractor. So going straight into lair, which we saw last time as well. And the SCV is going to see this. This is like a complete mirror of last game with only small deviations. And the biggest one being that there's a wall here for our Terran player. And so we'll see how that plays out. Slowly getting the Marine Force up and running. Now the Zerg player is going to identify the wall. Might even keep his drone alive. He does. It looks like this might be walling off the Marines. Looks like they can't quite make it through there. And the SCV is going to come up here and see the lair. So, looks like we have at least 6 Zerglings on the field, which is a little bit more than last time. Last time it looked like Kriggy just did 4, just enough to kind of chase around the SCV before teching up. Second barracks, refinery, academy. So another 2 Rex academy build. And really what you want to do right now with this SCV is keep it alive at all costs. Try to identify this spire that went down here behind the mineral line. Oh, and he sees it. Okay. But as we know, seeing is not seeing in StarCraft. So, not sure if AZK saw that. It looked like he was microing the SCV, though, and may have seen that spire go down. So we'll have to see what his reaction is, and we'll see here in about a minute or so if he throws down that engineering bay and starts getting some turrets. I don't think we saw a single turret last game. Okay, so we're at 8 Marines, which means we should have a done academy and probably spitting out some medics here. Okay, so 2 medics. Now, last game, we saw AZK move out with this force and got some pretty decent success. He was able to kill one of the sunken colonies, but then kind of got a little discombobulated with the bio. And the Zerglings were able to overwhelm it. But still forcing all those Zerglings, forcing the Sunkens is very helpful as a Terran player. So it does look like we're going to be moving out again. Only has a single medic. Okay, there's the second one. We'll see if he can hunt down these Zerglings. Weaken this force up so that when he does crash up against the Sunken colonies, that there's not a field of Zerglings also adding to the DPS. So he scans. Good timing on the scan. And he is going to be seeing that there's 2 sunken colonies here, which is good. That's what you like seeing that as Terran. You can bust it if you're lucky, but then also at least the larva and the drone were spent and the minerals were spent to get these established. Okay, so AZK showed a little bit of aggression last game. Let's see if he does it again. We do. Here comes the stim. He's going diving right on top of this sunken colony. Now the second one finishes, and so do the Mutalisks at the same time. Gonna be getting some damage in. Does on the Mutalisks, he targets one of them, but the entire Bioforce has been erased, and this last sunken colony does survive with 200 health. So now, back home, how we looking? We have the eBay. Oh no, no turrets yet. Getting one here at the mineral line, getting one here as well, and one at the barracks. Okay, we'll see if this is enough. We only have about 5 Marines out on the field. And mutas are scary. Mutas are so scary. Oh, they're the worst. No me gusta Mutalisks. So, only 4 on the field right now, though. I guess 5. Another couple being morphed back home. Drone here in the top right, ready to take another main once the minerals are available. And so now the Mutalisks are starting to poke in. They come up here at the top. We've got 2 turrets over here at the mineral line, 2 more, so this looks pretty secure. We have turrets being built by the barracks, protect the production. Love to see that. And we have several here at the mineral line. So, in theory, AZK has a pretty well-established defense with all of the turrets. It's going to come down to how he can handle these Mutalisks with his Marine force. And one of the things to be cognizant of right now is, one, yes, this wall and the vulnerability associated with these buildings being out forward of this anti-air defense. And then 2, medics. You still need the medics because as these Mutalisks are flying around your base, you're going to be stimming. You're going to be, inflicting damage to yourself and taking a bunch of glaive damage. So you need something to keep your medic or your Marines nice and healthy. So a little bit of a sausage party at the moment. So going up to 4 barracks, getting the factory down as well. And we're getting some more scans. What do we see with the scans? He's looking up in the main, and he's going to see the Hydralisk Den and Queen's Nest. So teching up pretty quickly here for Kriggy. And we are at 9 Mutalisks out on the field, a few Zerglings poking around, and the third base being taken as well. Alright, so this is about as standard TVZ as you get. Alright, so we're lifting off the factory, and this tells me that we're going to be seeing starports. Where are they? Okay, so we got 2 starports. So right now, AZK's goal in life is, I need science vessels. Oh no, we don't want to lose this factory for free either. So he'll have to bring this back to the safety of his turrets. Trying to get these Marines a little bit of a surround on these Mutalisks. Takes one out and does rescue his factory. So there might have been a little bit of an opportunity there from Kriggy to really bang up this Bioforce when it was kind of all mixed up and, split up from the walking through the buildings. But lucky for AZK, that did not happen. He's got a medic out here, and she's keeping everyone nice and healthy. Now, up here in the third base, we do have another gas. This is starting to look like, I don't know. It kind of looks like he might be transitioning to lurkers. We do have Lurker Aspect being researched, another hatchery, and we are going up to Hive. So I think Kriggy's trying to put the pressure on, get a little bit of a contain with these Lurkers, or maybe just use them for a little bit of defense, and then transition into Ultralisks. That's my guess here. Lots and lots of Marines. Hasn't been producing Mutalisks, but we do have 8 Lurkers. 8 Lurkers! Now, we saw great success from Kriggy with his Lurkers last game, but I don't think he's going to get the same level of success this time, trying to just walk them in. We've got turrets here for detection. We have the scanners up. This Lurker attack will be coming later than usual, or I shouldn't say usual, later than it did last game, and we're going to have science vessels out as well for detection. So we'll see what direction he goes with the Hive. I'm seeing this number of Lurkers. I'm actually kind of straying away from thinking that he's going to be going Ultralist right off the bat. It might be looking more for Defiler. We have a Radiate being researched for our Terran player. Oh man, we're setting up to have a hell of an engagement here. Okay, now this is going to be pretty pivotal. There's a lot of Lurkers on the field, and this bio ball needs to survive. And you can see up here on the production tab, we do have Defilers tech being approached by our Zerg player, and we also have Adrenal Glands for Zerglings. So yeah, we're going more of a Defiler. Oh my gosh, the amount of damage these Marines are getting done. Oh no! But the Lurkers! Oh no. So they were being all kind of derpy there, not burrowing for a long time. And I thought that the bio ball was going to be able to erase a bunch of those. Now, he did kill a bunch of Lurkers, did some damage to these Mutalisks, but that entirely reset the Terran army. And so I'm curious, Kriggy has a window of opportunity here where he can just move in with all of this and get so much damage done. Now, Radiate has been completed, but we just don't have the energy yet. But these science vessels are going to at least provide vision so that these Marines can come out here and try to knock these Lurkers down. So, does kill the 2 that showed up. Oh, man. And I think that window of opportunity for Kriggy is kind of gone. Right? We have our Radiates now. We're rebuilding the Bioforce. We are at 6 barracks. 2 starports. We're looking okay as AZK right now. Ah, there is a medic. I don't know if this is classified as a sausage party then. Is it Radiate 75 energy? I don't know why I thought it was 100. Me, a Terran player. Character, thanks for the follow, man. We're getting some nice CPL action going on right here. Tier 3. Got a few games ahead of us. So far, they've been absolute bangers. All right, so third base up here is looking nice, healthy, and saturated. The Zerglings do have adrenal glands at this point in time, so we've got some cracked up Zerglings, and it looks like Consume just finished as well for the Defilers. So I think Kriggy is getting to the point where he's preparing for a push. We have Plague also being researched, and a ton of Lurkers just out and roaming on the map. So looks like we're about to see a 2-prong attack. We're gonna have the Mutalisks come in over here, start harassing this mineral line. That's going to pull this Bioforce back in, and then that's going to allow these Lurkers to close the distance with this choke. I think that's what we're setting up for right now. But right now, both players, it looks like AZK trying to group up his Marine Medic force on all of his hotkeys, which is partly what makes SK Terran so challenging, right? Is the sheer number of units you have to deal with, along with the spellcasters, etc. So here come the Mutalisks. And you can see here the 2-prong attack. So Mutalisks are getting in. They're taking a ton of damage. This attack maybe not being as effective as Kriggy was hoping for, Trying to fly around with the Meatless, but they're all gonna die. The Zergling Force died as well, but oh no, we gotta be careful about this bio. The bio's coming up here, and there are so many lurkers. In combination with these Zerglings, the entire Bioforce is just being completely shredded. Oh my gosh. If they do end up making a StarCraft first-person shooter game, GG. Yeah, after that, AZK was just like, I've got nothing left, homie. That's it. But if they make a StarCraft first-person shooter game, that's one of the moments that I hope they capture and instill the fear of God in you, right? Like if you're a Marine running around, having like a hold position lurker and Zerglings popping out of the bush would be a pretty immersive feat, I think. Okay, so anyway, me over here fantasizing about future StarCraft games. That's going to give Kriggy a 2-0 victory over AZK. GG's. We are going to go into our PvP series, our first of 2 PvP series, which is going to be Otto versus Ghostup. Okay, so we're going to be on knockout. Let me go ahead and knock out this scorecard. So we've got Otto. That's a Protoss. Up against Ghostup, who's also a Protoss. This is going to be on knockout. Alright, badass, man. Let's get it. Alrighty, down here in the bottom left, representing the Zero Effort Zealot Rush, is Ghost, part of the Brotherhood. That's what that DB clan tag is. Then down here in the bottom right, we've got Otto, Urk, also a clan tag, representing the Build Disorders. I need to get more involved in clans, I think. I know there's the, what is it, BWCL, the Clan League. So these players may have faced off a good amount of times in like the Little League or whatever it is that they have over there. But it seems like a really cool system. So you should check it out if you haven't. In PvP, what are we hoping to see here? What I'm hoping not to see is 10 Dragoons versus 9 Dragoons deciding the game, right? What I'm hoping to see is either wild aggressive Zealots in combination with like early shield batteries, or just Reavers everywhere. I guess DTs would be fun too, right? Like a DT rush would be pretty sexy. But I'm here for the Reavers. So we're going to be getting a first scout here from Ghost. And head over here, see the probe coming out for Otto. Heading up here is going to see the assimilator and the gateway. Going to go and expect early Dragoon pressure. And now no assimilator here for Ghost. Leads me to believe maybe he might be going for a 2-gate build. Yeah. Yeah. Also, if anyone here speaks Korean, I've been watching a lot of like KCM, like the all-kill format, and I like to watch it as soon as it gets published. So I don't wait for the English translation. I just watch it in the Korean. And the commentators, they always make this word or sound where they go, yeah, yeah. Is that a word? Or are they just saying it like how English speakers say yeah? Like, cool, this is badass. I don't know how to Google that, otherwise I would. Alright, so Zealot's going to come up here, clog up the ramp. Now, I kind of missed it because I was sitting here rambling about Korean broadcasting terminology. Alright, Wagukun. I will. I'll find it. But I'm not sure if Otto had actually gotten a scout off over here. We saw the probe poking out initially. Not sure if it died or what happened. We do see the assimilator going down for Ghost. We've got a shield battery here. Okay, so I think that was kind of preemptive. Or maybe that first probe did see that this was going to be a 2-gate build, but it looks like Otto playing a little defensively here. A little concerned that he might be swarmed by a bunch of Zealots. Now, there are 3 Zealots over here for Ghostup, but he's spending the time with these Zealots to chase around the probe as opposed to pushing across the map. So I wonder if he's intending on teching a certain direction where he really doesn't want that probe to see it. And it looks like he might have killed that probe as well. So I'm kind of curious now. Like, is he hiding something? Maybe not. Cybernetics core, another pylon, being warped in. Got Dragoon range on the way for Otto. And we're just chilling. We're just chilling. Good old-fashioned PvP chilling session. Man, I think I might be getting sick. No bueno. Alright, we've got 5 Zealots out here at the natural. 2 Zealots, 2 Dragoons here for Otto, along with that shield battery, which puts him in a position of being very tough to break. Forge going down, a couple Dragoons popping out. And right now, the only real advantage that we see at the moment is a couple more workers here for Otto. Otto's also getting his 3rd gateway, which I think is going to help a lot. We have a cannon going down here in the mineral line. This is really interesting. I think this is like counter DT prep, right? Counter drop defense. I think right now both players a little unsure what the other one's doing, and it looks like we're seeing reactions associated with like scar tissue, right? Like I wouldn't be surprised if Otto last game in a PvP got rushed super early and was like, okay, not again. Throw down the shield battery. And then Ghost probably got like a Reaver drop or something on his main, and he was like, never again. Throwing a cannon down. And yeah, so like Otto is sending this Zealot over just to get some scouting information. He's going to identify that there's no expansion still from Ghost. And he, oh my gosh, he needs to get all the way in here. Oh, he didn't actually get to see anything in the main. But he did learn, I guess the information that he received was the army size of his opponent and the lack of expansion. So Otto looks like he's playing a game where he's waiting to have a favorable trade against Ghost's push and then a potential counterattack. I think the question here, though, is he going to have enough? He's got a couple more Dragoons coming out. He's got 6 up here on the high ground, 2 Zealots. Now, he just needs to stay disciplined and stay up here and utilize that shield battery, and I think he'll be okay, especially with the high ground advantage. And we're about to see this engagement happen in real time, as opposed to, I don't know, in flipbook fashion. Okay, so Zealot pops out, sees that the army is sitting here trying to keep this contained. And we're not seeing any Reavers, guys. We're not seeing any Reavers. We're not seeing any DTs. I'm a little upset. Now, the nice thing about Otto throwing down the shield battery as early as he did is that it's got so much energy. Okay, Dragoon range being researched here for Ghost, and Ghost is continuing to just pop out tons of Dragoons. I think Ghost is thinking about potentially throwing an expansion down soon as well. Oh, but here comes the engagement. Right now, I think Otto has this. Definitely the superior Dragoon count. He's got a couple derping up here at the top, but it looks like he's going to be pushing away Ghost's force. Yeah, Ghost is on the run. Now, is Otto going to take this all the way across the map, or is he going to take this as an opportunity to get his expansion down? Looks like he might be thinking about expanding. Now, Ghost did throw down an expansion as well, but he's a little bit on the defensive at the moment. He needs to buy more time, or at least continue to kite this army so that he can get more units out and use that defender advantage. Right now, Otto has the superior Dragoon count. He cannot take this fight straight up. This is looking kind of bad for Ghost. 3 gateways, 2 of them pumping out more Dragoons. Now the difference here is there's no shield battery for the side of Ghost. Oh man, we got some hold position going on here. A lot of the Zealots going down for free. We're at 7 Dragoons here for Ghost. Now, if he engages now, he can maintain some high ground advantage against the Dragoons stuck here in this ditch, but I don't think that's going to be happening. And Otto just might run right through this. Only 2 Dragoons remaining for Ghost. And that's it. GG! Oh man. Well played by both players. That's going to go ahead and give Otto a 1-0 lead over Ghostup. And I feel like I accidentally called that one. I think that was Caster Curse. Does Caster Curse even count on replays? Whatever. I feel like it's going to today. When I said I really hope this game's not decided by, you know, 10 Dragoons versus 9 Dragoons. Turns out it was decided that way. Let's go into game number 2. We're going to be on Polestar, another 4-player map. And we got to give Otto his win. Alright, very cool. What's that notification that just popped up? Yo, Stage! Thanks for the bits, man. Okay, hold on. What was that? Was that a Tangia thing? I want to make sure you don't get scammed. Whoa, my computer's tripping. I need to get that fixed. Anyways, thank you so much, Staged. Alrighty. And just a reminder for anyone, you know, all the bits, all this Prime subs, the subscriptions, donations, Patreon that just got made, but there's nothing on there yet. All of that, 100% of it just goes straight to Starcraft Underground tournaments. And we're messing around with that prize support too. The first one we did was just $50 to the winner. The second one we have going has split prize support, so the top 3 players will get monetary payout. But the dream here is that we can fire those weekly and increase that prize pool. So we'll get there. We'll get there one day. But right now we're watching CPL Tier 3. Up here in the top left, we've got Otto, our blue Protoss, representing the build disorders. And down here in the bottom left, we've got Ghostup, our red Protoss, representing the zero effort Zealot rush. And we have not seen a zero effort Zealot rush pop out yet. I want to see it. Gateways for both players. We do have an assimilator this time from Otto, which we saw last time as well, right? So Otto, he was the player. He went assimilator, single gate, cybernetics core, got Dragoon range. He only made like 1 or 2 Zealots early on and really went into that mass Dragoon kind of playstyle. Now Ghost, on the other hand, did a 2-gate opening last game, and this time looks like he'll be adjusting his build order to kind of match. Potentially, we'll see, but at least he's starting that earlier assimilator for what I would expect to be matching that Dragoon production. Now, yeah, okay, I see what's happening here. So Ghost got his first scout off. Probe went up to the top left, got immediate identification of where Otto's hanging out, and Otto is not going to be, he's going to be getting his last scout. So he'll be getting into Ghost space as the last main that he checks. We do have the Cybernetics core going down for Otto and Ghost, and Otto's also getting a Zealot out. This Zealot's probably just going to be used to get this guy out of the way. And here's for hoping for Reavers, baby. Alright, second gateway for Otto. We'll see what the decision point is here for Ghost. Looks like Ghost only has 2 on gas at the moment. So that might indicate some sort of intention of expanding. But we'll see. Zealot hits this guy once and is just like, nah, I'm not trying too hard for this. I'm not about this life. Alright, Probe running around, getting full scout, going to be identifying that the second gateway is going down, and that is behind the second gateway that he's created. So there is a window here where Otto might realize that he might have the opportunity to be the aggressor here early on. I imagine we won't see any type of push until maybe Dragoon range is complete, though, or it's close to completing. And both players clogging up their ramp with a Zealot and Dragoon. One of the best methods of plugging holes. Alright, probe's going to hang out here at the natural. Going to keep an eye out on any potential army movements and expansion, and is going to even throw down a pylon to ensure that that Otto doesn't expand without him knowing, and also delay it if it does come out. Now, this, ooh, Citadel. Maybe we will see some DTs. I don't know. Let's see what direction he goes. Okay, now Otto's force is going to come down here, wipe out this pylon. That is going to put Ghost at a supply block of 25-25, so not sure if that was entirely worth it. Didn't really buy that much time, I don't think. Otto's still waiting for resources to expand. Keeping these gateways on full production. And here we go, here comes the move out, and this is what we were expecting, right? Otto as the aggressor after seeing the gateway timing, and then also moving out with the time associated with the Dragoon range. Now, the Dragoon range is also complete for Ghost, and Ghost does have the high ground here. He's got his Zealots, but there's 3 Dragoons here for Otto, so it's going to come down to a little bit of micro and decision making here at the tactical level. But I think with Defender's advantage, I think Ghost is going to be just fine. Oh no, but he loses that Dragoon right off the bat. The Zealots, looks like they're all chasing this Dragoon. So the target fire actually being a little bit of a pain point here for Ghost. A couple more Dragoons about to pop out, and we should see this get cleaned up. But definitely an annoying engagement here for Ghost. Okay, here comes the additional Dragoons. And now Otto's army is going to be pretty much just wiped out. Now, Otto might have come in here and seen the Arbiter tech, not Arbiter, the Archon tech being thrown down. Templar tech. My god, that's what I'm trying to say. So we'll see what decision he makes. I think up here we're seeing robotics facility and an observatory. So he's thinking a little bit more defensively about DTs being thrown out on the field. But this can also transition very well into getting some Reavers, which is what we're here to see. Okay, Templar Archives almost complete. I also want to point out we thought Otto was going to expand, but he chose not to. Chose not to. He's keeping his probe down there, though. And we do. Okay, so we do have the first Dark Templar being warped in. And we're also seeing a Forge being thrown down. Additional gateways. Okay, so I think if I were to guess, like, I like Otto's position a little bit more. Otto has 8 more probes. He's going to have increased production with the 3rd gateway. Now, I think Ghost is in one of those positions where, because he's expanding, well, I guess Otto is as well. Yeah, so I think the big advantage here that Ghost is trying to utilize is the Templar tech. So we'll see what he can get done. But the observers are going to be out, so I'm not imagining a whole lot. Okay, Dragoons come down here, knock out that probe, but the probe did see that the expansion was started for Otto as well. And it looks like we're going into some Templar tech of our own. He might be using this just to get Zealot legs, but we'll see. We shall see. Waiting for that robotics support facility, support bay, whatever it's called. Okay, Ghost getting his own 3rd gateway. Okay, and so the DT is not going to be running into the main base, but what the DT is doing instead is just preventing any additional expansions beyond the natural. Observer's going to be getting up here. He's going to be seeing the probe transfer. And this is going to indicate to Otto, okay, the expansion, the economy is a little bit ahead for Ghost. But he's also going to get a full scout on the armory and everything for Ghost, and I think Otto's going to recognize that I think his army is doing a little bit better. You can see up here the supply difference is about 11, and 7 of that is workers. So he's got additional workers, but he's also got a superior army count. sleepy today, guys. Okay, seeing the move out here from Otto. Now, Otto also has +1 melee weapons being researched, but he doesn't have a single Zealot with this army. I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing some of that be incorporated into his force. Right now, he is just kind of Mass Dragoon. He does have his observers. I'm not sure what you're talking about with the mining mini. Oh, gas. Oh, yeah. Yeah, not the most efficient. The pylon, I don't think, helping his case here. It happens. We've got 3 more gateways going down for Otto. So Otto looking to really push this in. Okay, so has the superior Dragoon count. We're going to have to see how Defender's Advantage can help out Ghost here. This is, oh, here we go. Now we need more energy. We need more energy. Oh no. High Templar gets sniped there. And there it is. Ghost gets, or I'm sorry, Otto gets the win. And that's going to be 2-0 for Otto. Yeah, Kriggy, you're a little late to the party. Guess whose match I
Manshark,
casted?
how do you feel about DGen TTS?
Oh, can you guys hear
Mario and
Tangia?
Luigi were finally alone. Even though they were brothers, and even though
Let
they
me,
were plumbers.
I want to make it so that I can hear Tangia. Okay, so that was that stage. Okay, there it was. Hey, you know, I threw Tangia on there because I'm trying to find any method that I can to get funds for our StarCraft Underground players. I don't want to become a Artosis stream. I don't think I have the mental resilience to do that. Anyway, let's go into the last series of the day. We got Rulebot versus RiceBeans. Yeah, watch the recording, man. It was fun. Alright. So we got RiceBeans versus Rulebot. Rulebot versus RiceBeans. The first map we're going to be on is Knockout. Let me get the score sheet all squared away. Oh, man. All right, I'll do it when we go to the next screen. Who is it? Rulebot and RiceBeans. Okay. I don't think I've seen RiceBeans play. Rulebot I've played a good amount, seen him play a good amount, but RiceBeans I'm unsure. So do you guys want yellow versus yellow? No, let's do red versus blue. Up here in the top left, representing the build disorders, is Rulebot. Then down here in the bottom left, we have RiceBeans, representing the zero effort Zealot rush. Now, fun fact about Rulebot. I'm pretty sure, now this is hearsay, this is rumor, I'm not entirely sure this is a true story, but I'm pretty sure that there was a week in CPL where he had scheduled his match. And he posted it on Battle.net and someone joined at the time that he had scheduled his match. And he played out his series against this person that was not even a part of CPL. and Rulebot concluded his week and thought that he was done with his CPL match, when in fact he had really just played some rando online. So that always cracks me up. His opponent was like, "What are you talking about? We've never played." Alright, RiceBeans throwing down his gateway. We have an assimilator going up for Rulebot before barracks, even. Or, I'm sorry, not barracks, gateway. Yeah, that could just be a technique. Yeah, we totally played. Alright, going straight to the gas. I'm curious to see how he's going to utilize this early gas over the gateway. This isn't something that I see a lot, I don't think. I'm not entirely familiar with what this build is trying to accomplish. I'd imagine maybe some sort of shenaniganry. We have a pylon going out here up towards the top right. This might just be for anti-drop, kind of like notification. But with the probe blocking the ramp as well, I'm starting to think that rulebot might be going into some sort of early drop play. Might get some DT stuff. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, now RiceBeans probe is going to get up here into the main. Yeah, he did gas before gateway. What's that? What does that indicate normally? Because I'm not sure, but I'm sure it's probably like a super well-known build. I just don't know Protoss at all. Okay, we are getting the cybernetics core down. And then over here for RiceBeans. Robot! You're here! Can you explain your gas first? Thanks for the follow, by the way. Okay, so we got Dragoon range going down here for RiceBeans. Second gateway for Rulebot and his cybernetics core. Now I'm curious what's going to be going on up here. There it is. This is the reason we need the gas, y'all. We need it for DTs. And that also explains, I mean, I guess this is pretty standard, blocking the ramp and everything, but doing it so early with the probe, he's hiding something. He's being super secretive. More Dragoons here for RiceBeans, playing a little bit more standard. Third gateway, right off the rip. Ooh, but we have a robotics facility going down for RiceBeans. Okay, so I think this game we're going to be seeing a lot, or a very different approach. Okay, Rulebot. It was something I had heard happened. But I love that you heard the story, jumped in, you were just like, that's it. I got to follow and set the record straight. I also don't know when it was. I don't know if it was this CPL or a previous CPL. Alright, Templar Archives going down here for Rulebot. And we are gearing up to have some massive DT action going on. Alright, second gateway being warped in. Dragoon range just now finishing up. And we're even using the Citadel to get legs as well. So, gonna have some fast G-House Zealots, and here we go. 3 DTs. Now, what do we have in defense? Luckily, we already have the robotics facility, and the observatory is already coming up. We're even getting a forge. So, I think we're okay. Now, the problem is that these Dragoons are going to be over here trying to pick a fight, and the Observer's not going to be out and over here yet. So there is going to be a window where these DTs, we'll see how they're used by Rulebot, but they can come down here, kill the army, and then go into RiceBeans' base. Looks like Rulebot trying to decide what he wants to do. Looks like he's going to send 1 DT, 2 DTs across the map. And I like that he's splitting this. So he's forcing these Dragoons out of his base with this DT. And then these 2 DTs, they can try to get as much done as they can over here. But once he identifies the Observer, then he can run back and at least kill the other Dragoons as they're retreating, right? Well, I guess they snuck back. So that was good by RiceBeans. So we're going to lose this DT. And that leaves 2 more DTs on the map, though, and does get another goon for it. Now, if we just fight with them, like, Observer be damned, they're still effective fighting units. And now we've got the legs done for the Zealots. They're going to get up in the face of these Dragoons. This is going to take a ton of APM and attention from RiceBeans. I like that he's going up here to the main. He needs to target down these Dark Templar. Oh my gosh, this is looking a little tight, but it looks like Rulebot probably has this. Look at the pathing here. These units are just like, I don't know how to get on the ramp, so I'm going to go run laps. Oh no, once these DTs get into the mineral line, it's going to be no bueno for our blue Protoss. And here we go. Rulebot's DTs in the mineral line just starting going ham on these probes. Now we have 1 Dragoon left. Big Sklur! Thank you! Thank you for the Prime subscription. It's gonna go straight into the SKU bucket. You can win that money back. Consider it an investment. Alright, this is looking really bad. We're at 4 probes. 1 probe for RiceBeans. Oh, man. There's the GG. Rulebot is going to get it with a very cheeky 3-gateway DT build. Very fun. So, we now know Assimilator first means 3-gate DT. Alright, that's going to give Rulebot the first map win. And it looks like this series is a little one-sided. Zero for ZEZR, kind of struggling a little bit to get anything on the board. But again, this isn't the entirety of the tier. It's not the entirety of the week's matches. So sometimes this happens. And regardless, Zero Effort ZEZR is still in the semifinals, which is going on this week. So hopefully we get some good casts of that. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, right. I got to update the scorecard. So Rulebot took map 1. We are on Polestar now. We are in game numero 2. Let's get after it. Over here on Polestar, Rulebot. Red Protoss down here in the bottom right, representing the build disorders. Up here in the top left, we got RiceBeans, our blue Protoss, representing the Zero Effort Zealot Rush. Now, we've seen a lot of PvP today, but that last one was a lot of fun. Rulebot coming out of the woodwork with an Assimilator first DT build. And I feel like RiceBeans was very close to, like, I think he had enough. I think it was the positioning that really screwed him up, and the timing and the element of surprise that came from those DTs. Because he had the observers out on time. He had a good amount of Dragoons. The problem was that his Dragoons were trying to put on some early pressure without the observer, right? So I feel like that might be one of the takeaways there. Like if I was RiceBeans, I'd be thinking, okay, if I'm going to get the observer out and do harassment around the same time, might as well lump him up with the army first before I head across. I don't know. I don't know. Right now we just have pylons for both players. Does look like RiceBeans getting a gateway down. Still waiting for what Rulebot's going to be doing here. He is just mining. Are we going to see Nexus first? This looks like we might be seeing a Nexus first. So cross-spawn, Nexus first. Coming from Rulebot. Now, RiceBeans... Oh, okay. I was just checking. I was like, is he just going to run off and scout with this guy? Okay, throws this down. Now he's probably going to go scout. And look at this. Look at the end scout. So, RiceBeans going to recognize, okay, we don't have any middle, like, center gate, center 2 gate nonsense going on. Just got attacked by DTs. Never know what to expect. Let's make sure we're checking the close spawns first. But this is going to give Rulebot that time that he needs to get this natural up and running. And in the past 3 PvP maps we just watched, we haven't seen this build yet either. Most of the fights that we've seen have been pretty much one base Protoss against each other. Now we did see a couple expansions go up, but it was kind of towards the end of the match and they didn't really play a large part in them. So this should be a very different game. Cybernetics core going down for RiceBeans. Playing it nice and standard. We got 2 gateways going down and an assimilator for Rulebot. And Rulebot just behind a little bit on probes. Down 1 at the moment. And now we see that expansion. RiceBeans does a double take. He comes over here and he's like, "Do what?" Now normally, you know, when I see that Nexus first, I start seeing red. I'm like, okay, time to put on some pressure. Time to like early aggro this nonsense before it gets out of hand. So we'll see if RiceBeans has similar tendencies to me. Zealot comes out, is going to defend the natural here. We haven't seen a probe transfer or anything yet. I mean, there's not a ton of probes anyway. We'll probably start seeing this get saturated here momentarily. So initial Zealot heading across the map for Rulebot. Zealot hanging out on the ramp for RiceBeans. He's getting a second one as well. Ooh, now it's RiceBeans' turn. I want to see more DTs. And this looks like a little bit of an in-the-moment decision, right? Because he got the Cybernetics core. We haven't seen any Dragoons being made. Actually, maybe you need this for the Citadel, huh? I don't know the tech tree. Alright, Citadel. We can see that Templar Archives. Saw a sweet probe drift go through there. Alright, RiceBeans still ahead on workers, regardless of the fact that there's 2 Nexus out for rulebot. So that looks good. 5 Zealots coming across the map. Okay, so it does look like RiceBeans was seeing red. He saw that Nexus first, and he was like, okay, we need to smack him around a little bit. But I don't think that the 5 Zealots are going to get a lot done. 2 Dragoons, 3 Zealots here for our red Protoss. He's going to be sitting pretty. He's going to be feeling okay. Now, we're not seeing the DTs like I was half hoping and expecting. Instead, we're getting Zealot legs. Okay, now here we are. Here comes the engagement. Dragoons sitting back, pelting a lot of these blue Zealots. Now, if the Zealots can win the Zealot fight and get on top of these Dragoons, they can still be a pain in the butt. But we're still waiting for speed. Okay. Now with this, these Zealots are going to get cleaned up. Now we'll see if rulebot decides to do a little bit of a counterattack. Oh, it gets a probe there. That's nice. Okay, Zealot gets cleaned up after getting about a probe, cleaning up the Zealots from rulebot. A little bit of a force here defending, and we do have a robotics facility going up for RiceBeans. Oh no, RiceBeans. Sorry to hear that. I'm a little bit of a tilt machine myself, so I get it. I get it. This game is looking good though. Okay, 3 Zealots. We have the speed up now. Also, RiceBeans going observer tech. We got a whole bunch of cannons. Okay, we got 2 cannons going down here at the natural. We have a robotics facility. Kind of a weird placement for that, honestly, from Rulebot. And the reason why I say that, one, I just never see it here, but I'm trying to think of like pros and cons. Like if you start pumping Reavers out of this later on, I feel like if you're on the defense, there's an opportunity to just snipe them right off the rip, right? And lose this key piece of infrastructure. Wow, Rulebot not screwed around. Getting more cannons, getting the robotic support bay. Right now they are even on workers as well. And I keep pointing out the worker advantage because I feel like one of the key aspects of getting the second Nexus is having that superior economy. Oh, robots for no shuttle Reavers. All right, well, if that's the case, if you're going to be slinking the slugs across the map, yeah, every inch helps. Every inch matters. That's what Mama always said. You know, she always said, every inch matters. Every inch matters, Manshark. I never quite understood until this moment. She must have been talking about robotics facilities. All right, we have a 4th cannon going down here at the natural. Stage. Weird, my mom never told you that? I don't think so. You know, I don't think so, but you're not wrong. I think RiceBeans had a couple decisions or a couple direction changes, right? Because we saw the Citadel, but that was for legs, and he got legs. He sent the 5 Zealots across. I think there was an expectation that would do a little bit more damage than it did, based on the Nexus first, a little bit of delay in the production from Rulebot. Then we saw the robotics facility. This was almost defensive in nature, right? We saw the observatory go down. Got to make sure the DTs, etc. don't come in and kill you, because we just saw that last game. And so right now, I think we're kind of reverting back into the normal build. We're continuing to get more Zealots, continuing to macro up. Focus right now is getting the natural up. making sure that that's nice and secure. And then over here for rulebot, doing more of the same, right? We're getting an observer, we're getting our gateway units out, we're starting to upgrade. So +1 melee for both players. I don't know if we've seen legs yet for rulebot. We do have the Citadel, but I've missed it. And check out this. This is some like anti-reaver drop play. Or I guess anti-drop in general, anti-storm drop, anti-observer, anything a cannon can shoot. Now I like RiceBeans spreading his observers out, getting some vision out on the map, setting the Zealot as well to check for a third base. Not seeing anything. That's a feel good when you don't have one. There's nothing worse than like thinking, oh man, I'm probably behind on expansions. Sending out a scout and confirming, ah crap, I actually am behind on expansions. It's never a feel good. Alright, a few volleys here from the Dragoons knocking out that lone Zealot. Observers gonna say hi to each other. Oh hey, hey. Alright, we're getting a little bit more of a macro game going. Now we do have the first Reavers being produced here from Rulebot. We do have a shuttle out as well. So when it comes to defense from Reavers, we've got one cannon here. We're going double forge. So the upgrade advantage is going to be handedly in RiceBeans' favor. Doing a little bit of a gateway explosion, getting 3 more, going up to 6. Looks like we're seeing that a little bit as well over on Rulebot's side, going up to 6 gateways. Alright, now RiceBeans getting a little antsy here with the Zealots. Okay, so it does look like Rulebot doesn't have speed on his Zealots, but he is trying to get a third. Third going up for RiceBeans. And this Zealot run by should be enough to actually knock this out. We'll see what the reaction time looks like from Rulebot. No, it looks like he just cancels it. Cancels it, boogies back home. Probably a good idea. If he tried to keep that, he sends his army up there. Takes a ton of damage in the engagement. The Reaver's sitting here by himself. That would open up an opportunity for RiceBeans to kind of establish a contain here on the natural. Rulebot instead is just pivoting. He's saying, okay, you won't let the Nexus go down over there? I'll head over here. I'll put one down on this side of the map. They both have gas. Alright, it looks like Rulebot getting situated here, getting organized, getting the hotkeys hotkeyed. I just want to see these Reavers shoot stuff. But RiceBeans is in it. He's got 7 gateways pumping. Haven't seen a lot from his robotics facility though. He primarily using it for map vision with his observers. Right now I think the focus for RiceBeans is getting the third up, getting it established, getting the saturation. And after denying the third base from Rulebot, this probably feels like a very good win. And it is, right? He's up 9 workers. He's got this third base established. He's at the point where he can expand his gateway count, which he's doing, and just start outproducing, right? So now Rulebot needs to either get his third up or be extremely efficient with these Reavers and these higher tech units that he has out on the map. Otherwise, I think Rulebot might be at risk of being overwhelmed. Now, something else I want to point out. Rulebot doing something a little interesting. Getting 2 Stargates. He's getting +1 air weapons. He's getting a 2nd cybernetics core. So he's about to pump out carriers, and he's about to pump them out with vengeance, with rigor. He's going to upgrade the hell out of them. And he's going to have a very high-tech army. So this is going to be a story of powerful units versus a million units. We'll have to see how it goes. Now, the third base advantage is going to start piling up here pretty quick for RiceBeans. RiceBeans is doing a good job of keeping his money down. He's up 12 workers right now, 36 supply, or 34 supply. And Rulebot has a really scary force here. But it's not the most mobile force. It's not the most, I would say, I don't know, he'd have to utilize his Reavers and shuttles very effectively to make this as efficient as possible. You need to be careful on this move out too. The whole Congo line might start getting schwacked here. Now, fun fact, there's nothing in this shuttle. All the Reavers are crawling. Good thing, too, because the shuttle flies over these Dragoons and just gets nuked. Alright, so engagement's kicking off here in the middle of the map. Now, RiceBeans does not have enough. He's going to need to pull back, which he's doing, and that's okay. This is just kind of a scouting force, maintaining center control. Now, he still has all these Zealots up here at the previous third. I don't know if it was enough to take this out, but he's going to be able to get a flank here. I'm going to have to zoom out. This is some wild positioning we got going on. Now, we've got Reavers. Ooh, good attack here on the Reavers by the Zealots. Oh my gosh, the Zealots doing a phenomenal job of being exactly where they're supposed to be. And that was an enormous engagement for RiceBeans. Holy crap. Rulebot walked across the map into a wood chipper. Now he's trying to get his third base up. He still has some cannons, but cannons drop really fast to a force like this. And, you know, he can't afford those carriers. He has everything that he needs. He's got his fleet beacon up. He's got the 2 starports, but he's so late on getting his third base up, and he just reset his ground force that the carriers just aren't going to happen. This third base is about to go down. Now, meanwhile, back over here at the natural, this is where the bulk of the defense is for Rulebot, and it's just not as much. Now we do have carriers starting. We got 1 carrier, but Dragoons are pretty dang good at shooting aircraft. In fact, I don't see carriers much in PvP, period. And I wonder if that's because inherently Dragoons are so naturally good at kind of countering them. But I don't know. Whole bunch of army being amassed here from RiceBeans in the center of the map. Third base looking nice and healthy. Third base for Rulebot, schwacked again. We're getting to the point where minerals are about to start being a concern. Probably about 3 or 4 more minutes. Rulebot will likely be mined out of at least the main. The observers are bouncing around for RiceBeans, trying to see, okay, how ahead am I? Right? I think RiceBeans has recognized, okay, I have an advantage here. Don't think he realizes that he has a 70 supply advantage, and like 16 of that supply is being built right now. So it does look like RiceBeans start tasting the blood in the water, and he's getting after it. The Zealots are running in, tanking a lot of these shots from the Dragoons, and the huge Dragoon arc here from RiceBeans is just going to start laying waste. Now the bummer here for Rulebot is that this engagement is occurring outside the range of all of his static defense, which, to be fair, this is kind of a tough spot to fight in. And the cannons go down so fast, so I don't know. There's a lot of Dragoons. I think RiceBeans has probably done it. We do see a carrier. One has, in fact, arrived. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Carriers are strong, but I don't know. Those interceptors feel like they're taking an eternity to make. And look at this, just a flowing... Oh, I thought there was going to be more army. But this is a 4th base. I think that's it. Yeah, and that's going to be it for game number 2. RiceBeans takes it in decisive fashion. And you know what? We got to see carriers.
Hey, Rulebot here. If I really played against some random guy as a CPL match, I didn't know about this until right now. Joy.
I'm so glad you're using the Tangia bot. I need to get used to it, though. Like, that just scared the crap out of me coming out of nowhere. I was like, is there some old man behind me? Alright, let's go into game number 3. This is going to be the last game of today, of our beautiful Thursday. We're going to finish it off with this PvP, and these two have been just slogging against each other. So let's get into it. This is going to be on Radeon. 1-1, the decider. RiceBeans, the only one so far that's been casted to get a win on the board for the zero effort Zealot Rush. Let's see if he can close it out. Let's see if he can take home a W for the zero effort Zealot Rush, who are in the semifinals, by the way. It's a big deal for them. They didn't think it was going to happen, but they made it. Through blood, sweat, shit, and tears. They're there. Up here in the top right, we've got RiceBeans as our blue Protoss. And we've got Rulebot down here in the bottom left representing the build disorders. Okay, well, RiceBeans, you can't spoil things like that. But, hey, I feel ya. I feel ya. I almost, you know, I was really gung-ho about signing up early on in the season. Was having horrendous performance and just, like, haven't been signing up since. I am signed up this week, though. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's really tilting. It's really tilting. I feel like what makes it hard is the sense that you're on a team, right? And so you feel like the pressure to do well for the team, even though the wins don't matter still. It's a learning league, but it's tough to approach it that way. Robot throwing down a gateway here at the top of the ramp. RiceBeans doing the same. F spoiling. I had a bad time. Here's the spoiler. Yeah, that's true staged. Yeah, for anyone watching that is not a part of CPL, it really is. It's great. And depending on your team, you can get tons of practice in. And staged, yeah, like our team, the Zero Effort Zealot Rush, very active. If you ever want practice, there's a few players that are always there to bounce games off of. Or as I like to refer to, get some free bullying. Mick bullied me for free last night. It was a good time. I now have the confidence to know that I can lose with grace. Alright, RiceBeans coming down here to the top, bottom right, not seeing anything, but rulebot. Did he just bebop straight across the map? Okay, no, he did get the second scout. But he's going to recognize that this is a cross-spawn location. So like last time, rulebot did a Nexus first build. This time, not seeing that. Looks like we're going to be seeing 2-gate. Now 2-gate a little bit weaker when cross-spawn locations. So we'll have to see how RiceBeans holds up against this. Now the single Zealot not going to be able to really do anything. I mean, there's a Zealot here. I guess the plan is maybe bulk up 3 of them and then try to push the ramp. But I imagine we're going to be seeing a Dragoon pop out here pretty soon. And I'm trying to remember, was it RiceBeans? It might have been the previous series. I'm trying to remember who did the early shield battery. Now check this out. Pylon going down here at the natural. Rulebot really... Oh, it was bait. That's what that was. Rulebot's not trying to prevent an expansion. He's trying to bait things down from the ramp, and it worked. Rulebot going to be able to take out this Zealot. Another Zealot on the way. RiceBeans in one of those positions that every Terran hates, where it's free-running Zealots just smoking around your base, causing complete mayhem with the cost of like 2 APM. Rulebot's able to just like A-move these guys and then go do other things. So we got 4 Zealots, 5 Zealots in the main for Rulebot. Is this gonna be it? This can't be it. Robotics facility. Okay, the probes doing work here. And we're down to 7 probes for RiceBeans, but he ain't hear no whistle. He's not done. These probes continuing to fight, trying to target down this guy. There is a weakened Zealot in there. Now, I gotta say, Rulebot not being the most efficient with these Zealots, but still, only 5 probes here for RiceBeans. And we still have more Zealots being produced. Shield battery here for Rulebot in the natural. That's what that was for. So it served as bait early on, but it's also getting that shield battery down. Down to 6 probes for RiceBeans. Oh my gosh, are these Manor Pylons? Who owns these? They are Manor Pylons. Rulebot pulling out every trick in the book. Right now, RiceBeans trying to fight these pylons. Zealot coming up. Probes redirecting damage to this Zealot. This Zealot doesn't stand a chance. What I'm curious about is how much more reinforcements we have from Rulebot. So Rulebot back home, 15 to 3 probes, has 2 gateways, cybernetics core, getting his own robo facility. Game's not over yet though for RiceBeans. RiceBeans is knocking these out. probing up. Scoots a probe over here to identify the Zealot. But the pressure has been stopped, right? He's not dead, and there's nothing else coming here for rulebot. So if this Zealot can knock out the last one from rulebot, there's an opportunity to stabilize here. Holy cow. Nice use of the shield battery there, but still a lot of hull damage on this Zealot. Alright, there we go. Alright. RiceBeans can take a little bit of a breath. Needs to keep probes being produced. This is one of those weird balances. It's like, okay, gotta get that economy back, but I also gotta not die. What do I build? We're at 8 to 21 supply difference. Getting a shield battery. That's a cool move, actually. I like this. I was sitting here thinking, I was like, what in the world can you do differently to try to continue to survive? I didn't say hull damage, I said hull damage. What is hull damage anyway? I have to Google that. Alright. Back to my thought. The shield battery. I like this idea. Okay, so I was trying to think, yeah. So what can you do differently to just not die and try to stabilize? Having the shield battery here is actually going to turn these warrior probes into true warriors. It's going to increase their survivability. You can mineral walk them and get a ton of damage in on any zealots that are trying to run into your line. In addition, it's positioned so that the gateway units can pop out right here. Like, overall, I think if you got to do something, not a bad idea. I like it. A few stray buildings out here. We got a pylon. Now, this pylon's interesting, preventing expansions, any type of sneaky ninja expansion that might be trying to come to the triangle third. But it's also going to give, like, drop protection. You saw the robotics facility. It was up earlier than rulebots. So a comeback mechanic would be a drop straight into the main and wipe out the mineral line from rulebot. So rulebot doing a pretty good job of providing a little bit of insurance, mitigation measures. Getting a second base, not at his natural, at the 6 o'clock. Interesting choice. And he's sending a shuttle over with a Reaver and a Goon. We've got 4 Zealots. This is scary. Oh, and he's going to do an early drop. Sends the Dragoon in. Starts doing some chip damage. Oh, no. Not the probes. There's not many left. Shield battery, great idea. Really cool move. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you die in one shot, right? Doing a good job with the Reaver micro here. Keeping it alive. Absolute oh my gosh. We're at 0 probes. 0 probes, and we don't have enough money to make another probe. Oh, but we've got one on the way. Wild! Absolutely wild. I freaking love it, though. RiceBeans is like, I am not a quitter. Win condition, kill my shit. Until then, nah. He's still making progress. He did eliminate the shield battery down here. Which, if it was still alive, could you imagine the Reaver coming up here doing that damage, and then coming down here and utilizing that shield battery and chomping things at the ramp? So, killing that shield battery was actually not insignificant. Because the combination of that with the Reaver could have been pretty nuts. And you know what? Rulebot doesn't have much of an army. He's got that Reaver, he's got like a couple Goons, and a Zealot, and that's it. Oh, I bet RiceBeans, I bet. It's relatable. Protoss is the worst to play against. Okay, so RiceBeans currently trying to recover from the Stone Age. But Rulebot not really taking advantage of his lead, I would say. Kind of interesting. He's working on upgrades. Getting +1 melee weapons. Dragoon range. Getting some observers. Okay, so I think we're in a period of just like reconstitution. RiceBeans trying to get his economy back under control. Rulebot trying to get enough to finish him, but really not producing that much. We've got 3 gateways, 4 gateways, double forge. There's a lot going on here. We are getting the natural now. Couple cannons. So Rulebot taking the school of thought of like win ahead, like solidify your position, which is definitely a more disciplined approach than I usually do. Like whenever I feel like I even have the slightest advantage, I'm like, pull the boys, float the buildings, send it all, BM him in chat, you know, like hit him from every angle. Try to be just like a human version of a flashbang grenade, like just sensory overload. But that's because I have 0 discipline and I'm easily bored. Rulebot though, being cautious. Being careful. But right now, this is like an even army on this side when you incorporate the shield battery. So let's see, this might be an opportunity for RiceBeans to actually recover. But not if this Reaver resets the damn probe count. Oh my gosh. We're at 5 probes again. 5 to 40. Oh no. Oh no. RiceBeans. I completely relate. I'd be pissed. I'd be so pissed. But he kills the Reaver. He's going to kill the shuttle. Get that shuttle. Get it. Any compensation you can get, take it. Got 2 probes. 2 probes and a dream. So, Rulebot has a lot more probes, but they're not all mining. Okay, it looks like he's getting that up and running. He's busy microing in the main base. Yeah, Stage, you bring up a good point. At that moment, right, 11 army supply to 11 army supply. They still got equal armies. Like, RiceBeans is definitely doing everything he can to stay in this game. This is wild. This is wild that we're at this point when, at like the 5-minute mark, it looked like it was over. All right, taking the 12 o'clock here. Oh, you should, RiceBeans. Also, a lot of people in CPL, their names are food related. And I think someone even got a snapshot of like the voice chat in Discord. There was a bunch of people practicing at one time. And RiceBeans, I think you were in on this. It was like RiceBeans, strawberry, vile tomato. What was the other one? I don't think Rice Hat was in there. But there's like a lot of food related gamer tags. It's just funny. I guess a Manshark could be food. Oh, pecan. Yeah. And it is pecan, for any of you weirdos that say pecan. A pecan sounds like a bird. Like, oh, you know, I got some chickens, some pecans. That's pecan. Just like it's caramel, not caramel. That one, I understand the argument a little bit better, though. Or ant instead of aunt. Okay, anyway. English dialects aside, here comes goons. We're at 8 goons, 4 zealots, and 3 goons. Let's make it happen. Okay, so Rulebot looks like he's getting ahead pretty freaking hard here. We're at 5 bases. The army count 27 to 19. So like relatively similar army counts actually. RiceBeans only a little bit behind. Doing a good job of balancing just like pro production, but not over queuing, like just constantly keeping them going. And not neglecting ensuring that he has an army to fight with. Oh my gosh, Rulebot. Fleet Beacon again. We might see carriers. Now, are we going to wait for carriers? That's the real question. We're still at 4 gateways. Is that third forge? That seems like an accident. I don't know if he remembers he has this forge. It hasn't been spinning for a long time. Getting some legs, or I'm sorry, citadel. I just associate that building with legs. And we're just macroing. Macroing. We have another Stargate going on over here at the whatever that is, 9, 10 o'clock. But we're building up. We're getting to a almost healthy probe count. Like, once this is in, like, the 30s, you can do a lot with that. Yeah, we're getting carriers. Getting carriers, baby. You know, you never see it. You never see carriers in PvP. At least I don't. We're getting 2 games with carriers. It's very exciting. Okay, maintaining the contain here on RiceBeans. Robot supply starting to get a little high. We're at 122 to 51. Starting to tech up a little bit. All right, we're starting to get to that point where, okay, we're able to reach kind of like mid-game tech tree now for RiceBeans. Now, Rulebot has been taking up the whole map, just eating up all the minerals. But he has still not been producing, like... Okay, I was going to say he hasn't been producing an army, but he's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Stargates. Good lord. Marine, what the... is now following? Good to see ya. Why is the same game still going? Well, that's kind of the interesting thing, right? You would think that the game would be finished off. And that's what's been really interesting, is Rulebot's technique of finishing off. Struggling to actually kill RiceBeans. RiceBeans continues to defend any ground attack that's thrown his way. So, Rulebot feels forced into going mass carriers. This is a lot of Stargates. I don't think I've seen a game with this many Stargates in a long time. 1, 2, what was it? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Stargates. Okay. I haven't been very doom and gloom up to this point. Oh no. RiceBeans, please don't look at this. I'm sorry you're reliving this. I know it can be tilting. But you've been doing really good holding this all off. A weaker player would have just died. Okay, here we go. Yeah. We got 3 carriers, 4, 5. This is insane. 6 carriers being made right now all at once. We have air weapons being upgraded. I think these carriers are going to be the killer blow, guys. I think that's the case. Now, I like this breakout, though. So, RiceBeans at 30 probes. Like, he's got an economy that he can work with now. Like, he's starting to actually get some minerals. He's getting production underway. The Reaver drops have stopped. He's able to break out, take this natural. Now, this is a problem. I like the recommendation earlier, mind control. Mind control is the way to attack carriers. But I don't think we're quite there on the tech. Right now, RiceBeans is thinking, okay, I've been given an inch. How much can I take? Let's get the expansion. We need to get this economy up and rolling. Like, the fact that he's fighting back inch by inch is beautiful. Meanwhile, a lot of these carriers having to just build up their interceptor count. It does look like we have the upgrade. We've got 8 interceptors on this guy. Wait, hold on. I'm seeing some spoilers in chat. Do we actually start getting some Dark Archons? Carrier. Oh, no, you're talking about another game? I was gonna say, that'd be freaking sweet. Oh yeah, stasis. Four more carriers being made, a couple more coming across the map. Not gonna lie, this is a long game, guys. It's starting to feel as energetic as a TVT. Late game TVT. Except with less siege tanks, they go blam. What is this? Oh, okay. Good lord. We have at least a full control group. Here they come. Here they come. Shum 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 shum. And here comes the red cloud on the mini map. The carriers have arrived. Oh my! Oh, a carrier goes down. Now it looks like the remaining dragoons are fighting against the interceptors, and there's just too many of them. Just clouds of these little things. And there it is. There's the GG. Well fought, gentlemen. Well fought. RiceBeans, sorry that you had to relive that. I know that can be painful. But really good job holding the attacks, and that was a really fun series. Okay, so that's going to give rulebot the 2-1. And there it is. Build disorders. Clean sweeping the 4 series that I casted today. Ugh. Such a shame. Well, that's going to do it for today. Thanks again to everyone that supported with bits, that supported with Prime subs and follows. It's huge. All this money, like I said, 100% of it, everything that comes just gets shuttled right into Starcraft Underground. I don't keep any of it. I want to get that community up and strong, because when there's money, there's a lot of participation. Where there's participation, people join, the community grows, and more people are playing the best game ever to be played. So anyway, let's go ahead. Let's do the anthem, and then we'll find someone to raid, and then we'll go about our Thursday and have a kick-ass rest of the week. All right. So everyone, do whatever it is that you do. Put your pants back on. Take them off. Do whatever you want. Here comes the anthem. Warm up the fingers. Gotta keep them nice and stretched out.
Winners rise and losers fall, reflexes sharp, minds enthrall. Gamers play, this never ends. CPL, where legends play. CPL, we fight tonight. Let us sing the storyline. From the shadows to the dream, we are the Coach-Pupil League. We are the Coach-Pupil League.
Hey-ya. GG's, everyone. Let's find someone to raid. You guys want to watch sumo wrestling? Starcraft. Starcraft. Let's filter by that game. We got DeWalt. We got Gigi Nori. Gigi Nori. That's a CPL guy, right? We got Father SC. Yeah, let's do Gigi Nori. Looks like where'd he go? Looks like he's playing some Terran, maybe some ladder. Let's do it. Make sure you say hi. Show lots of love. Yeah, he's playing a TVZ right now. Anyway, thanks again, everyone, for watching. I haven't been streaming a ton. I'd like to get back more into it. Try to at least keep 1 or 2 a week and get through all these CPL matches. There's so many, but they're so good. And everyone that has matches this week, good luck in the semifinals, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.